Texas Department of Public Safety is pleased to have had joined with the 5 divisions of the National Automobile Theft Bureau in producing this film on the subject of automobile thefts. The motor vehicle age and the 50 million automobiles now in use in America have come into being during one generation. Because of its stable value, multiple usage and mobility, the automobile offers to the thief a prey which is second to none. In a single year in the United States, over 200,000 automobiles were stolen, and while some citizen states have more thefts proportionally, none can rightfully be satisfied with its record. Of the stolen cars year after year, from 5 to 8% are never recovered. The total loss of one car out of each 16 stolen, plus the damage and inconvenience incurred on these which are recovered, represents a staggering economic loss annually. Our police will continue to do an outstanding job in combating this type of crime. Continued training and increased vigilance will enable them to be even more effective. A major portion of the solution of this problem, however, lies in the increased consciousness of the need for self-protection on the part of every automobile owner.
Police functions have multiplied so rapidly in recent years that many police officers have not realized that more automobiles are being stolen annually in the United States than will pass through a tremendously busy highway intersection like this one in a 3-day period. While automobiles are stolen under every conceivable circumstance, the chances of theft are greatly increased, even though a car is locked, if it is left on a dark and infrequently traveled street. On other occasions, smooth-working Confederates may spot a desirable vehicle on the street in front of the owner's home and quickly push it away from the vicinity before operating it under its own power. Other similar thefts occur from the owner's premises. Automobiles are frequently taken from an unlocked garage or from a darkened driveway. Thieves avoid detection by pushing the car away from the house. These thefts often give the thief several hours before the car is missed and reported stolen. In connection with a stolen automobile is a frantic telephone call by the owner to the local police station as soon as the car is missed. Unless all identifying information is included in the original dissemination, much valuable time may be lost, reducing the possibility of an apprehension and early recovery. As soon as the data is recorded, it should immediately be dispatched to other monitoring stations and field units. The original broadcast from the local police department is, in most localities, rebroadcast through state police communication facilities, and in turn, picked up by state police cars patrolling thoroughfares in rural areas. In many sections of the country, in addition to the radio, the information is given wide additional coverage through toll and lease line teletype facilities. The subject matter just covered dealt generally with the reporting of crimes. Here, briefly, let us consider the follow-up of the original report. Many well-organized police departments assign each case specifically to one or a pair of officers and then require a written follow-up report to be filed within a given period. Whether an automobile theft or any other crime, it is of the utmost importance that the original report be investigated and confirmed. Where possible, investigators should follow through by interviewing complainants and witnesses, visiting the scene of the crime, verifying places, dates, and time, and developing suspect data. On some occasions, it will be determined that a relative or an employee has taken the car and that the crime is theft by conversion or theft by bailee. In other instances, there may be embezzlement or fraud. In these cases, proper complaints should be filed and warrants issued. The alert and interested officer with experience will learn to detect through observation many stolen automobiles. Here, one readily recognizes the average American family, probably on vacation or a weekend trip, under conditions which normally would arouse no suspicion. As compared with the previous scene, a situation like this should create a very definite suspicion on the part of any police officer. One might first observe that the occupants hardly fit the vehicle. Further examination may reveal the absence of clothing or luggage, a broken vent glass, or one license plate wired on. These observations can give a definite indication that the vehicle may be stolen, even before a thorough inspection is made or the subjects questioned. A more detailed examination of a suspected automobile, and more especially one found abandoned, should include a check for key, or if the ignition has been wired around, inspection of articles in the glove compartment, a search under seats and floor mats. If this has been an abandoned car, now would be a good time to ask for a latent fingerprint expert to be sent out to process for prints before they are disturbed by the investigating officer, a wrecker operator, or others who may have occasion to be around the car. Often, papers, receipts, invoices, extra license plates, book matches, and many other articles will be found, which can be of value in the investigation. Further examination of the trunk is important to determine if the deck lid has been pried open, if there is a spare. Don't forget to look under the trunk mat. In addition to identifying data, the officer is, of course, always on the alert for narcotics, burglary tools, or stolen goods. The most important part of the examination, however, comes with the recording of notes concerning the description of the vehicle, including the license, motor, and serial numbers. Here, in connection with checking information by radio, the importance of including complete data in the original message cannot be overemphasized. This may save duplication of work on the part of many persons, as often the license only proves to be stolen or issued for some other automobile. Careless practices on the part of owners not only create ideal situations for thieves, but also place temptation before many who would not otherwise consider theft, more especially the juvenile. Many youngsters become first offenders because temptation is too great and pilferage from an automobile appears so easy. A great percentage of all thefts now occurring might be eliminated through a program by which the police could educate the general public not to leave cars containing valuable personal property in plain sight, and to refrain from leaving automobiles in isolated and poorly lighted areas unlocked, or with keys in the ignition switch, over the visor, or in the glove compartment. The automobile theft situation is of such magnitude as to warrant serious police attention and study. The more than 50 million motor vehicles in use in the United States today, plus an ever-increasing criminal element, in part explains why the value of automobiles now being stolen exceeds the combined value of all other property taken through larceny. It remains for the police officer to develop additional and better procedures and techniques to enable him to combat this growing problem more effectively. Because of the universal ownership of the motor vehicle, automobile theft is the one crime of larceny which more nearly affects all citizens alike. The passenger car and its companion, the commercial truck, have in a half-century become vital and indispensable parts of our economy and of our transportation system. Not all individuals or families have places of business for burglars to attack, safes for knob knockers to try to open, or expensive fur coats and jewelry in their homes to tempt the thief. However, practically every family in this country does own some type of motor vehicle, which is so essential to this, our American way of life. Next to his home, the automobile is to the average citizen his most prized worldly possession, and it deserves the best protection that can be afforded.